What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. In this box, you might be able to tell from the logoing, is a incredibly rare, incredibly special pair of football boots that are in my size 9.5 US. Now you might be wondering, what the heck are those? These are the Black History Month Nike Magista Obra 1s. These came out in 2016. They were a very, very limited release, and these have all the papers, the string bag, the box clearly, and they are a very, very special pair. So this whole video is thanks to Your Cleats plug. I will show you, I believe he threw in a sticker into the box, so you guys will see that in the unboxing, but I'll leave all his information down in the description box below. He was fantastic to work with and super, super stoked for these boots. So I messaged him right away. I said, hey, are these available? Can we work out something? And he was able to get me these very, very quickly. I think we chatted like 2 days ago as of the filming of this video. So very excited. Thanks to Your Cleats plug on Instagram. Go check his page out. Go follow him. He's got tons of crazy stock all the time, and these are definitely no exception. So let's hop into the unboxing straight away because these are super cool and I'm really excited. Number one, to have a pair of Magista Obra 1s back in the collection, and number two, to have this particular pair because I think I've never seen these in person. I think I've only seen them like maybe once from afar, some on somebody's feet, but I'm so excited to have these in the collection. So we'll talk about later if I'm actually gonna wear these in a training or a game. We'll see. I doubt it, just because of how rare they are and how awesome and special they are, especially with the design and everything. So we'll see. But anyway, on to the unboxing. Here we go. So you've got the BHM logoing here. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so there's that BHM logoing. Special box. This is really tattered. It is an old pair of football boots. I suppose they're about 7 or 8 years old now, so fair enough. Totally blank. The entire box is totally blank. Some little Nike logoing here. And then you've got Magista Obra BHM FG in a 9.5 US. So something with the sizing. The Magista Obra is a boot including, so the CTR, the Magista Obra, and I believe one other pair of football boots, Tiempo Legend 5 Elites. I wear a 9.5 for whatever reason. They fit really snug or really small, and so I always went half a size up to get the perfect fit. And I wore Magistas a long time ago, back in 2015, junior season, 2016, I wore Magistas for that entire year. I was actually injured, but I wore the wolf gray Magistas. I wore the blue, like kind of my brand blue Magistas. I wore the kind of military green and orange colorway, not the camo ones. I would love a pair of those camo ones, but not the camo ones. And then I wore a blackout Nike ID version, and I had always wanted this pair, and it's crazy that these popped up out of nowhere. So let's get going. All right, so here we go. So comes in with a really cool string bag. This is awesome. This is the Your Cleats plug. There you go. So that's the logoing. I believe they're going to be changing logos very soon, so this might change, but that's a Your Cleats plug logo. Obviously all the information will be in the description box below. So then you get this little placard that's, I know it's really hard to read with the reflection because it's a matte black card with this thing, but basically there's a BHM logoing here, and then it says Power of One. Proceeds from the sale of this product will support the Nike Ever Higher Fund to support charitable initiatives that leverage the power of sport to maximize the human potential of underserved youth. The goal is to assist communities with the knowledge, resources, and tools needed to encourage, engage, and develop the next generation of leaders. So very, very cool. There's some logoing on the back of that. So my understanding is that these boots, the sale of these boots, a lot of the proceeds went to the Nike Ever Higher Fund. So that is very, very cool. I'm not actually sure what the history behind that fund is. This is more of like boot related content as opposed to more like, I don't know how you would, foundation related content, if that makes sense. But there is a very great cause for what this boot was meant for and proceeds from this boot. So here's the string bag. So you've got a super, super cool logoing here with the BHM. You've got these awesome like green, pink, and blue, or green, orange, and blue little strings here. And then on the other side, you've just got the Nike football logo as well. So very cool that the string bag comes in there. And we'll put that over here. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my days. Holy moly. These are gorgeous. Ladies and gentlemen, the BHM Nike Magista Obra 1s. A blackout boot pretty much with unbelievable design language in multicolored design language in the upper. These are a stunning pair of football boots. They're super multicolor rainbow. The majority of these colors are like a electric green, electric blue, which you can see here through this side. You got the BHM logo with the Magista logo here, and some reds, some oranges, a little bit of yellow as well. Absolutely beautiful pair of football boots. These are stunning. Wow. Having these in hand is so crazy, and I am reminded by how light the Magista Obra 1 is. That is pretty special. The black here even has some patterning on it as well. So you've got this black kind of tape look that goes right along the bottom. That's got some like dark gray patterning as well. Again, that BHM logo. And then everything else about this boot other than the colorway is a standard Magista Obra. So we'll get these out of the box really quick. I'll throw this string bag in there, back in there, and we'll get this put away. I'm trying to be really careful with that box because it is very, very, very special. So throw that there, and there you go. Absolutely gorgeous pair of football boots. Now, as far as tech features of the Magista Obra was released in 2014 in that awesome yellow launch colorway that had basically yellow with these high tenacity yarns, and then the flywire cables, and they were yellow, like a volt yellow with a red. They released for the World Cup in Brazil in 2014, along with the Superfly 4, which were the first of the crazy high cut. It's amazing how much high cut boots have changed. When this model released, this was what was considered high cut. Now high cut looks more like a high cut boot looks a lot more like this, almost like it's only got a little bit of material. If you look at the difference between, say, the Vapor 15 and the Superfly 9, it's a very different look to the actual high top of the Magista Obra. And the whole idea behind the Magista Obra was basically to have a fully Flyknit upper, which had never been done before, to create this sock-like sensation. So there was a really amazing connection between your foot and your leg, essentially. So you weren't supposed to be able to feel these kind of as you were wearing them, which is an interesting concept, but it did actually work pretty well. I remember loving the Magista Obra 1, playing in them all season long, the season prior as well. And they were a fantastic fitting pair of football boots, as well as just a fantastic performing pair of football boots. I thought they were super comfortable. Obviously, this full Flyknit upper gave you so much adjustability depending on the shape of your foot, which was fantastic. It had a really nice striking surface, a little bit of a grip surface on the ball, so you can see it's got a little bit of a shine to it, which is pretty cool. And what that did was it just gave you a tiny bit of grip in wet weather conditions. I'm not actually sure. Oh yeah, it does have ACC, that's cool, which basically means nothing. But that being said, it does give it a little bit of resistance to weather conditions so that you do have that ability to strike the ball and not have it go crazy off your foot in wet weather conditions. One of my favorite things about the Nike Magista Obra 1 was the sole plate. Now, this sole plate is very, very similar to what we saw on the Tiempo Legend 3 and 4. Tiempo Legend 3 and 4, I believe, had 7 studs here in this forefoot area, and then 4 here. They were bladed in the back, and then there were the 2 bladed studs. It's a little bit different looking, but it's very similar to this one. And there's a decent amount of structure to it, so it's not crazy snappy like the carbon that was on the Superfly 4, but they did definitely have a bit of snapback. But the idea behind this boot was awesome, and I loved this sole plate because it's super neutral. It gives you a decent amount of bite with these bladed studs. I kind of wish there were bladed studs here in the heel area, but that's totally fine. But this sole plate was just fantastic, and I really appreciated the conical studs, especially when playing on FG. The college team that I played for, Whitman College, which is a small D3 school in the northwest of the United States in Walla Walla, Washington, we played on natural grass pitches. We were really lucky to have a beautiful grass pitch, and this performed super well. I actually wore a soft ground pair of Magista Obra ones one game when it was pouring down rain. But for the majority of the time, natural FG pitches, these were perfectly fine. These studs aren't even that long, which is crazy because now you look at FG stud patterns and they're super long, oftentimes bladed or chevron studs, which is wild. This was the perfect shoe, in my opinion, perfect stud pattern to wear on both natural and artificial ground pitches. So very, very cool. This is a mega pair of football boots. I love that from a distance, it would pretty much just look like a black pair of Magistas with the white Nike swoosh. Once you get up close though, you realize that this is the ultra rare pair of BHM ones. The insole, or the insert, I guess, is a little bit, oh, this is sick. Okay. So this says the power of one, and it's got a super cool multicolored pattern on it. For all intents and purposes, is the same Nike insert that we got on most or every other Magista Obra, but it's got this awesome bespoke design to it for the BHM back in 2016, celebrating Black History Month and the importance of that holiday. So here we go. I'll put this back. But again, Magista Obra was one of my favorite football boots of all time. It really was. It carries a lot of nostalgia for me just in general, because I think that was one of the boots that continued to push the envelope of what so many football boots now are. So many boots nowadays are made from knit materials, which is so cool. And this is kind of this is what started it, this and the Superfly 4. So to have a boot of this caliber in this rare colorway is super awesome. Again, thank you to Your Cleats Plug for the absolute plug with these ones. I'm very excited. I'm going to take them out on pitch. Yes, it's going to be an AG pitch. Yes, you can yell at me in the comments. That's totally fine. I don't mind. It's going to be a very quick try-on session because I don't want to ruin these, but because they are brand new, obviously, in box, never been worn before. And yeah, let's take a look at how these look and go over some of why the fit and feel features of why this football boot is one of my favorite of all time. All right, fam, here we are out at the pitch with the absolutely stunning Black History Month Magista Obra ones. I am very hesitant to try these on only because they are incredibly valuable and incredibly rare, but I will get them on feet just for a really quick sec to go over some of why I really loved the Magista Obra one. Sorry for the wind if that's crazy right now. Part of the reason I loved the Magista Obra 1 was how soft the upper was, while also providing a decent amount of, Jesus Lord, sorry guys, that is crazy wind right now, while providing a really decent amount of lockdown with the Flywire cables that are built into the upper, which is awesome. And it was the first time that we really saw the knit material upper, as I mentioned in the unboxing, and the Magista just had this really exceptional fit. So I actually did go, as you guys saw in the unboxing portion of the video, a half a size up, because these are Magistas fit similar to the Maestri, at least for me, and Tiempo Legend 5, which is they fit a little bit small. So I go half a size up to achieve the best fit possible. There they are, absolutely stunning football boots. This colorway is just insane. I think these are absolutely amazing. I'm gonna get the other laces in as well, just to make sure that I can get both on feet. For the sake of the unboxing videos, if you guys are new to the channel, thank you guys so much for watching. I am doing all of my on feet portions without grip socks, just because I think it provides the best like kind of raw sensation or raw impression of what boots feel like on feet. And then of course, for those of you who do want grip socks at some point, you guys can always add grip socks to your boots. Whichever ones you like on the market. There's a lot of good ones out there. I've been lucky to be involved in some a couple products which are pretty cool, but for the sake of the review, I do stuff without grip socks just because I think it gives that raw sensation. So Magista Obra is a very interesting boot to get on. You really have to kind of pull this sock type situation, this dynamic fit collar as they called it back then. You really have to kind of yank your foot in. Oh my goodness, man, Magista. Oh,
after my own heart. This really is one of the most amazing fitting football boots I've ever tried on. Just in general, I loved the Magista Obra one. I think it's one of the best fitting football boots for my foot shape, and I really do think that the combination of the lockdown and the rest of the boot just gives such a nice fit and feel on feet. This particular model looks incredible, feels incredible, and I really think this is going to be an awesome boot to just kind of have in the collection. It is kind of crazy how high these go. Like, you really have to get used to it in a lot of senses, just because it is a very high fitting collar compared to a lot of stuff, even something like the Pred Edge Pluses, which in today's day and age are kind of one of the highest fitting collars on the market. These are like almost an inch higher than that. So that's something to consider if you are on the market, but it's actually a lot easier to slide on than I remember, which is kind of interesting. The other thing that I imagine too is that the Flyknit has always gotten better and better over time, meaning the way that this Flyknit stretches is going to be a lot easier than the it's going to be less elastic than newer models, which are going to have a much better kind of elasticity to them so that they stick to your foot. I think if Nike were to remake the Magista Obra 1 and make it really nice and snug in this area around the ankle, like even the GX DF, I think that would be so cool. So there they are on feet. Absolutely sensational looking football boots. They feel amazing. As I said in the unboxing portion, this particular type of stud pattern with the conical studs all around and then the bladed studs on kind of the forefoot area there really provide a super nice and neutral fitting football boot, and that to me is a really awesome on ground and on kind of turf sensation. I was able to wear the Obra ones that I had in both FG and AG pitches, as well as I had an SG pair that were all black that did a fantastic job on SG pitches. So there's that as well. There's a full look at what the boots look like. Again, a high cut boot from the 2013-14 era really looks kind of strange because of how high cut they are. They really do look like you have an ankle sock on, which is kind of crazy. For me, I am actually not going to do any B-roll of this boot because I really want to keep these pristine. I'm not going to do any like on-ball stuff, but when I tell you the on-ball sensation of a Magista Obra is sensational, trust me when I say it is absolutely sensational. I'll grab a ball really quick just to do some quick juggling, but I'm not going to do any dribbling in them just because I want to make sure they stay as pristine as possible. But juggling on the ball, God, these are so nice. Magista really is probably in my top 10 football boots, which by the time this review comes out, that video may have released already, so you guys will know this already. But these really are a boot that I feel so fondly about because of not only the nostalgia, but the way these fit my foot was just sensational. So there you go, a little bit juggling in the Magista Obra 1. I'll give you guys some up close and personal looks at them on feet. As you can see already, so easy to move in and out. The knit of this boot was absolutely sensational. So soft out of the box. It really gave you that sock-like fit, which I absolutely adored. The one thing that I think a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but some people had issues with was the fit through the heel area. Some people got rubbing right on this, where it says Magista on the back here, right there. Some people got rubbing on the back of the heel area, which I never had issues with, but I know some people just, because of the shape of their heel, and it's a pretty structured fit back there along the kind of up and down the Achilles tendon. So for those of you who have issues with that, I'm sorry, that's a bummer. But for those of you who were able to fit in these boots, you guys know how special this pair of football boots is. It marked an insane change in the way that football boots are conceptualized in the modern era. Everything changed after 2014. Everyone started going knit. You now see boots like, I think the closest model to this nowadays is, in my opinion, is the Tequila version 4. If they put laces on a Tequila version 4, I think it would feel very similar to this football boot, maybe even more responsive than this football boot. It's less grippy because of the lack of coating on the top of that the Tequila. But as far as similarities go with the high cut, and you've got a very similar shape to the Obra one. That's kind of the modern day equivalent to this boot. But as as you've seen over the last almost 10 years now, boots have completely changed because of this Magista Obra one, and the Black History Month is no exception to that. In 2016, when it was made, these are really, really special looking, really amazing. And thank you again. Sorry about the wind, man. Jeez Louise. Thank you again so much to Your Cleats Plug for getting these to me. These are definitely a bucket list football boot for me, and I am very excited and honored to have this pair. So if you guys are interested in Your Cleats Plug and the stock that he carries, definitely let me know down in the comments below, and also go check out his stuff in the link below. Like the video if you got value from it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see next. As always, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.